Hello and welcome to another episode of Unboxed, the podcast where we unravel the mysteries behind branding, marketing, and technology. Think you know about automotives or automobiles, you haven't met this guy. I have with me a very special guest today. He is Aaron D'Souza. He's the head of marketing for Alwan Global. Now, rather than me, I have a big intro about Aaron. I would like for Aaron to just talk a little bit about himself, introduce, just tell us about what you do at Alwan Global and what is your profile being head of marketing? What do you do on a day-to-day basis?
Sure. Well, firstly, I'd like to say it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation. At Alwan Global, we have multiple showrooms, and on a typical day, we are taking stock and inventory, discussing with showroom managers on what's the demand in the market and what type of cars we should procure for our customers.
All right. So we're in Dubai. You know, Dubai is a hub for. Dubai is a brand in itself, and being from a branding background, we know how important Dubai is for a market like yours to operate, or a business like yours to operate in. We have a lot of showrooms, a lot of brands entering into the market. Like from your perspective, like essentially, how is the Dubai market for the luxury cars? You've been operating here for some time, and being in the marketing space, what is your take on Dubai being a hub for the luxury car market? And on top of that, I just want to add, like, Alwan Global, you specialize in any different segment of cars? Is it luxury cars that you focus on, exotic cars, or generally any cars of that sort?
So we cater to different markets around the world.
All right.
Markets in Africa have certain preferences, maybe the pickup trucks, versus other regions are more interested in luxury or high-end cars with the additional safety features. But in Dubai, I noticed that Dubai takes great care of its people and great care of its infrastructure.
Okay.
So in my experience and in my, let me say that again. So in my experience with Dubai versus other parts of the world, the quality of roads here are bar none, some of the best quality roads here in Dubai. So people coming here or people already living here to own and to drive a luxury car or a super sports car, sometimes it makes sense because you can actually drive it here versus maybe roads in India, not so much. So I find that Dubai provides, what is necessary to live that lifestyle.
Great. Now, Aaron, I want to ask you a question. Like, essentially, you love cars, right? I mean, and you're doing something that you love, because when I read your profile, when we're trying to get you on board as a guest, one of the things that it told me about you is that you love cars. So how did you develop this interest for cars? And are you happy working in an industry and doing something that you really love to do?
Yes, absolutely. I think growing up, I grew up in Dubai, and I noticed that the main industry of Dubai is sales and marketing.
Yes.
20 years ago, there was you couldn't really identify anything being manufactured here. Everything was imported, and apart from construction, everything is sales and marketing. They got billboards everywhere.
Exactly.
And now digitally too. So just growing up in Dubai, I see, I'd pass by the Lamborghini showroom every morning. It was something that I would drive by, and it's just something that would always be in my head.
So what are the general specific challenges that you're facing on a day-to-day basis when it comes to marketing, when it comes to branding, positioning yourself in the market? Because I know that the car industry is highly competitive. There's a lot of players in the market. And what are the specific challenges that you're facing on a day-to-day basis, especially when it comes to this thing? And how does Alwan Global stand out? How would you differentiate yourself from the other players in the market, in terms of your offering? Is it just the product itself, or is there an ecosystem that you've built around the service, the support? Because these things go a long way. I know a little bit about what you do, but for the audience, would you like to expand on, what are the like what are the challenges that you're facing from a branding and marketing perspective and positioning Alwaan Global?
We typically specialize in cars for export, and particularly brand new cars for export. So over the last 30 plus years, we've built trust and reliability with our customers worldwide, where they buy bulk orders, from us, and they know what they want, and they know that if we facilitate it for them, they know that the cars will arrive on time, with the specific models, the specific years, specifications, because there's Euro spec, GCC specs,
Exactly.
Chinese specifications.
Exactly.
So customers nowadays, they're quite educated on, and they're quite specific on what they like, what they like to buy. So I wouldn't say it's a challenge, but I think working with our customers where they know exactly what they want, and we also stay in the game with them by understanding the market better and continuing to provide good customer service.
And that's great that you're saying that. And I think from what you've said, I can also gather that trust is a big factor when it comes to, because there's a lot of things are happening out there in the market. People are losing trust. And I think building on, someone's building on trust and building that confidence is quite crucial for a business like yours, because people are investing in there. It's a car is not just a thing that you drive around. It's a passion, it's a desire. And when you, I know, there's two segments of this that you're dealing with. One is the export market, which is the B2B, but for an individual buyer, who's investing some money into this, it's his passion, his desire, so getting the right kind of support, advice, trust is crucial, I think, when making these choices.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And, all right. So now I'm just going to ask you a very tricky question. Which is your favorite car brand?
I think I would have to say Porsche.
Porsche. All right. And why? Why is that? No. Now, I know that, when it comes to favorite car brands, we associate with the brand itself, not a specific model. But why Porsche?
Their culture
Right.
and their quality of engineering, I think it's bar none.
Okay. One thing one of the trends that's happening out here is like essentially the electrification drive. There's a lot of push, like after Tesla, now these Chinese are coming up with all kinds of models that electrified models. Even the big names like BMW and Mercedes, they have their own electrified future.
Yes.
In the pipeline. There's Americans like Ford and Ram, and bringing out their own models or planning it. What do you think is the future of mobility? Do you think that's the space that we are heading to? Are we going to see a electrified future? And how soon are we going to see that?
I think from a consumer point of view,
Yeah.
I think we're forced into it. There's nothing wrong with petrol cars.
All right.
I think it's just something that's regulated, and the car brands have to, manufacture in order to, provide options for the general public. Moving towards battery powered, we're also looking at solar powered houses and such. So I think they're trying to sell a type of lifestyle which is of the future, and it's not quite general yet. However, I've noticed that in Dubai, Tesla has gained a lot of traction over the last 4 to 5 years, ever since they originated here a few years ago. I think that you cannot drive down a road and not see a Tesla over an hour.
Exactly. It's quite interesting what you said, because from what you've said, I understand that you've touched upon a topic that, there's regulations in place, and there's a kind of a push for electrification. And one of the things that these brands, most of these brands push, is the sustainability aspect of clean energy, saving the planet. But I've watched, I've read about it. I've watched documentaries where they say that, when it comes to electric cars, maybe during the run time, you're saving a little bit on saving the planet and green energy, but when you actually dispose these batteries and the manufacturing and the disposal actually harms the planet. I'm not sure if I've got that message correctly, but I don't know if you know anything about this or on that front.
I believe it damages the environment more to mine these batteries than to drill oil.
You're into marketing, and I'm sure you watch movies as well, and you're into cars. So is there any standout moment that's actually you remember for an automotive brand from any movie? Because there's this brand positioning, right? I mean, product positioning in movies. For me, that one of those defining moments was like in one of the earlier Transformer movies where the Camaro was used, and that really as Bumblebee, and that was this is something that I still remember, and I think everybody remembers that. And they did a very good job in product placement in that movie. Is there any kind of, I don't know if you watch movies, but if there's anything.
Yeah, I remember Virgin Megastore when that first Transformers movie came out. They actually had a yellow and black Camaro out there, and I found that very significant. That was over 10 years ago, and I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, with the Camaro. Now they're making a new movie, and it's with Porsche. Can't wait for that one.
That's going to be interesting. Apart from the export bit of Alwan Global, do you cater to vintage luxury cars or exotic cars, or this is basically your primary focus right now?
Well, in my experience over the last 1 year, we primarily focus on brand new cars because they're brand new. You don't have the question of, oh, has it been in an accident before, or has it been salvaged? Is it a flood car? Is this original paint or accident free? Can I get 2 keys instead of 1? I mean, these are the typical drawbacks of looking at a used car. You always have that doubt, like, is this a safe investment? But with Alwan Global, if we can help you in registering a car locally, you can have that peace of mind that this is a brand new car and you are the first owner of that car.
Is there any specific brand that you highlight, or you deal in all brands of cars?
We deal in all brands of cars. We move with the market. We don't try to segment ourselves out, but we work with our customers to continue working with them. So customer retention is very important to us, and keeping our customers happy as well.
So Aaron, what's next for Alwan Cars? Like, we've talked about what you do, what are the challenges that you're facing, or generally the market is facing, where you differentiate yourself as a brand. What is next? Where is Alwan Global headed? What's next in the pipeline?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we have multiple locations, multiple showrooms. We would like to branch out and have more branches across the world. So this year we actually established one in the capital city of Bishkek in Kyrgyzstan.
All right, okay.
So we're looking at opening more showrooms across the world,
globally,
typically in places that require our brand to be there, require brand new cars. Usually our customers export cars through us in Dubai. We just want to make it easier for them to access the cars by having showroom and stock available there.
All right, that's great. That's great.
For them to actually see the car, sit in it, get a feel for what it is. Yeah, because typically the newest models, we get a hold of them and we're able to share the newest features and
And in the UAE, how many branches do you have in the UAE?
We have 3 showrooms.
3 showrooms.
Yes, in Dubai.
All right. Okay, great. I think from my side, that's it, guys. I think that wraps up this episode of Unboxed. I just want to thank you, Aaron, for dropping by, sharing your experiences with us. It was quite insightful what you shared with us, because again, when you have an industry expert from a specific industry talking about the day-to-day aspects of of the business, of the brand, and of where you want to drive, where you're driving this. It creates a lot of value for our listeners, and this is essentially what we want to do. I think I just want to thank you for your time.
It's been a pleasure. It's been great.
Yeah, and
it's been great to be here.
Thank you for being a part of the show.
My pleasure. Thank you.